Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Suhail, and I am the principal consultant at Redington Gulf. Okay, and I basically handle the analytics, the robotic process automation, and the IoT portfolio here at Redington. So today I will be talking about like what is intelligent automation. Okay, from automation anywhere. Like to start with. Uh, Please allow me to give a brief overview of what is Automation Anywhere as a company. So, Automation Anywhere is among the top three vendors in the RPA space as per Gartner, uh, as per Forrester, and many other research firms. As you can see, they have been rated quite highly by Gartner, by the Everest Group, by the HFS, and the Nelson Hall. And then the recent survey done by the analyst firm Forrester, they have been ranked as the topmost vendor for the RPA software. In terms of the presence, they are present across the globe, and they have a strong global partnership network with the partners. Like almost close to like 1100 partners they have got globally, and they have been in the market for 16 plus years, and till now uh, they have deployed close to like 1.7 million bots across the globe. Okay, not in a particular region. Like this has been the highest, I would say, highest number of bots that been deployed by any RPA vendor out there in the market. So moving on. Uh, so what is intelligent automation all about? Like we have been talking about like we have been listening about automation since the last 2 3 years. I mean, this has been the buzzword, like automation. But what really is automation all about? What is intelligent automation? Like how can a system be intelligent? Okay, so intelligent automation basically is a combination of a robotic process automation and artificial intelligence. Okay. Uh, it actually helps you extend the horizon of the business processes automation. Okay, exponentially. Fine. And intelligent automation can span across the entire automation journey. It helps you automate a lot of front offices and back offices operations. Okay, so and the good thing about this is that like if you look in the before going on to the intelligent automation, you need to understand like what is RPA and what is AI, like how AI augments the intelligent automation. Because you might be thinking like, okay, we have heard RPA as robotic process automation. Now, what is this new term like intelligent automation? Like how the combination of RPA and artificial intelligence is actually augmenting how sorry, how the combination of RPA and artificial intelligence is augmenting the intelligent automation. So for this, you need to understand what is RPA and what is AI. Speaking of RPA, like a lot of people have this misconception that the moment they hear robotic process automation, they assume that it to be some hardware kind of robot that is capable of performing the various tasks. Okay, so but that's not the case. So RPA is basically a software. Okay, that will actually enable you or help you to automate your processes. Okay, it's basically a software. So this needs to be understood that RPA is basically a software that will help you automate your business processes that you're running. I mean, you might have multiple processes that you might have that are running in the finance department. Okay, like then you have processes that might be running in the treasury department, the HR department. So there are processes that are actually defined. Okay, I mean, there is no human logic that is involved. So the process basically involves moving from point A to point B to point C. Okay. So these are the kind of processes that you can use to automate. Okay. So this is what RPA is all about. Now, after RPA, you need to understand like what is like how artificial intelligence will augment the intelligent automation in addition to this RPA. So before going to that, like the AI part of this intelligent automation, you need to understand like what are the challenges that you have in an organization. Okay, you need to understand like why cannot my standard RPA fulfill the needs of my intelligent automation. So okay, So for this, you need to understand. I was telling you need to understand the data landscape that you have across the organization. If you see generally, uh, the kind of data that we actually work within the organization, 20% of that data is considered to be structured. That is actually in the form of stored in the in databases. Okay, it's stored in the form of CSV or Excel files and whatnot. That is actually pretty structured. That's actually pretty structured. Okay. Now, how about the data that is underlying? That is actually not visible to the business users. I mean, that is in the form of email. That is the data that is present in the form of documents, or that is form in the PDF format, or it's present in the JPEG format. No matter what format it might be, like you will have data in all formats. Okay, but are we automating any of these processes that actually involves this unstructured data? I mean, the semi-structured and the unstructured data. No, we are not doing that. Okay, we are actually as an organization, most of the organizations are only working with 20% of the data that they have across the organization. So we need to see how we can tap this unexplored data area where the data is structured and semi-unstructured. So for this, automation anywhere, the vendor automation anywhere, what they have done is that, okay, they have introduced the concept of IQ bots. So IQ bots are something that brings structured to the unstructured data or the semi-structured data. Now, how, what are the features of IQ bot? IQ bot basically falls under the umbrella of artificial intelligence. Okay, and how this falls under the umbrella of artificial intelligence is that, okay, it has some built-in machine learning algorithms that provides it with the machine learning capabilities. For example, I mean, it has got inbuilt computer vision algorithm, then it has got the natural language processing, then it has got the fuzzy logic, and obviously the machine learning. So you might be wondering, like, what is computer vision what do you mean by computer vision? What do you mean by natural language processing? What is fuzzy logic? Okay, so by computer vision, what I mean to say is that it actually trains the bot to intelligently extract decision making data from the unstructured and the semi structured database. And by natural language processing, the NLP, okay, what I by this what I mean to say is that, like, whatever statement you type in, okay, like you're typing your emails, okay, you're sending emails, you have documents. So based on the statements that you have within your emails or within your documents, I mean, this IQ bot will leverage the natural language processing algorithm to comprehend the meaning and intent of the content. Okay, then if you look at the fuzzy logic, it basically conducts the phonetic algorithm and the fuzzy string match against the enterprise application to validate and enrich the extracted data sources. And by machine learning, the machine learning algorithm is pretty, like, it's pretty interesting. It actually learns. I mean, this actually enables or augments the intelligent automation by learning the human behavior. So once you have this IQ bot deployed, that is actually a component of intelligent automation. What it will do is that it will observe how the human being or how a worker is actually interacting with the applications. Okay, at the application level, from what application to what application is he navigating to, what is the process that he is following. So it will actually learn from the human actions. Okay, so it is like you are teaching a person of how to use an application. Fine. So this IQ bots, now coming to the integration of IQ bots, I mean, as you have seen in this slide, I mean, these are the standard algorithms that are provided, like standard AI features, like the computer vision, the natural language processing, the fuzzy logic, and the machine learning. In addition to this, IQ bots are also capable of being integrated with other AI platforms. Like some of the platforms that it can be integrated with are like it can be integrated with the Google Cloud, it can be integrated with the Microsoft Azure services, it can be integrated with the IBM Watson. So they actually provide you with a list of libraries or with list of inbuilt AI functions that you can use to develop your bots. Okay, so the possibilities, the limits. I mean, there is no limit to it. The possibilities are endless. No matter what kind of case you have, no matter what kind of data source you have, be it structured or semi-structured, you can automate the processes. You can use artificial intelligence on top of that unstructured or the semi-structured data processes with the help of other AI platforms that are easily integrated with the Automation Anywhere RPA platform. So just to reiterate that, what I just said just now, you can actually use Automation Anywhere RPA IQ bots along with the IBM Watson. That's an AI platform from IBM. You can use that with Microsoft Azure services, Microsoft Azure AI platform, and the Google AI platform. Okay, and according to a survey that was actually done by Gartner in the year 2019, there has been an upward trends in terms of the intelligent adoption intelligent automation that has been adopted across the market, across the enterprise. Like if you look in this slide, it is actually quite evident that the RPA, the automation processes in the year 2018, only 10% of the enterprises were actually interested in that. Okay, but if you look over the years, in the year 2020, it is expected to reach, like in the year that we are right now, it's expected to reach like 40%. And by the end of 2021, 90% of the organizations, 90% of the enterprises are expected to have RPA as a catalyst or one of the important components of their digital transformation. Like speaking of digital transformation and the adoption of this RPA by the end of 2021, in the present COVID situation that we have on our hand right now, I mean, we all know that we are actually going through tough times because of the COVID-19 situation that's been prevalent, because of the pandemic that's prevalent across the world. You know, people are actually working from their homes. I mean, a lot of uh, operations, they are getting delayed. I mean, there is no denying to that. Okay, there is a lot of stuffs there that are actually getting delayed. But if you have RPA, robotic process automation, and artificial intelligence in place, I mean, all the manual work that was actually done by your workforce can be automated. Okay, and these bots can run 24 by 7. These bots can run 24 by 7 deployed uh, on PCs or laptops or at your data centers at an enterprise level. So the thing is that your dependency, okay, on humans is actually reduced in terms of the manual work or the mundane processes that you're doing on a daily basis. So because of this COVID-19 situation, I believe you will also agree with me on this. A lot of business operation processes uh, are, I would not say being compromised, but are getting delayed. So this intelligent automation, this combination of RPA and artificial intelligence can help you automate these kind of processes. Okay, there are some examples that I will be going through at the end of the slide, like how this combination of RPA and AI can help you automate business processes. Moving on, you might be thinking like how this intelligent automation works. So as I was telling in my previous slides, okay, this IA, intelligent automation, basically works with the process discovery. It basically begins with the process discovery. By process discovery, what I mean to say is that I mean an exercise is carried out to understand what are the processes that are time consuming, what are the process uh, wherein you have high volume of transactions, What are the processes that are causing you bottlenecks, and what are the processes where large workforce involved. I mean, huge amount of workforce or huge amount of human involvement is required. Once you identify these processes, then it comes to the automation stage, wherein you apply the artificial intelligence algorithms that we discussed, like the machine learning, the natural language processing, the computer vision, the fuzzy logic. In addition to this, I mean, you have multiple AI algorithms from Microsoft Azure, IBM Watson, the Google, like the regression analysis, the decision tree, the naive Bayes algorithm, the linear regression, whatnot. I mean, you have lot of them. Okay, so you will be capable of applying these kind of algorithms to your processes. Okay, now the reason behind applying these algorithms to your process is that because the majority of the data that you have, it's the majority of data across the organization is basically unstructured. It's stored in the form of documents, in the form of PDF, in the form of files, but it's not stored in the database. Okay, so having this AI enabled RPA bots will help you process the data, will help you analyze the pattern, and it will help you perform a predictive, what do you say, I would say, it will help you actually predict what is going to happen. Okay, like if you see some of the famous examples, usually when voting takes place in any country, once the voting is done, I mean, they basically you I mean you the, I mean once the voting is completed in any country, what usually happens is that after voting, a projection is made. Okay, a prediction is made, like who is going to win and who's not going to win. So all these things are basically done with the help of algorithms, the AI algorithms, like the linear regression algorithm, like the decision tree, the naive. So you have a lot of algorithms that you can use. So you can use all this AI or the machine learning algorithms to augment your organization's digital transformation strategy. In terms, like, now you might be thinking, like, what are the industries that I can apply my intelligent automation to? Some of the industries that you can apply are like the BPO, business processing, or outsourcing. You have the financial services, you have the healthcare. Like in terms of the healthcare, if I talk, automation anywhere right now, they are working quite closely with the NHS in UK. Okay, therein they are actually automating all the handwritten forms. Okay, or like any patient that comes in to NHS, they need to fill in a form. It's a form. They need to write down the details. Okay, and they need to submit it to the administration for the record purposes, because this is a mandate that's been made by the WHO, that whoever comes into NHS, like whether he's a COVID-19 positive or negative, all his details need to be recorded and be stored with in the system and shared with WHO, the World Health Organization. So what Automation Anywhere have done is that they have worked in collaboration with the NHS UK government. Okay, and they have created a bot wherein the bot is actually capable of reading what a human has written, what all information he has written on the form. It is able to extract that information from the form. Okay, and once that information extracted, the bot is capable of converting that extracted information into the digital information and stored that into a database that is actually used by the WHO for their internal purposes. It can be used in the insurance department for claim processing, for eligibility verification, then the remittance. It can be used for the reporting. It can be used in life sciences and the manufacturing also. In terms of manufacturing, you can use it for inventory management, the order reconciliation. Okay, then you have transportation, invoicing. A lot of stuff can actually be automated through that. And you can use it in the public sector at all, in the public sector and the telecommunications. Okay, like in terms of the telecommunications, because of this COVID-19 situation that we have on hand. I mean, a lot of requests right now. I mean, a lot of customers are actually hesitant to visit the showrooms. So what is happening right now is that all transactions are happening digitally on different platforms, on different channels. For example, a user needs to buy a sim or something. Okay, so he fills in the data. So once the data is filled in, there is an end user or in the back office who is actually processing that data into the CRM system. From the CRM system, he processes the data to the billing system. Okay, from the billing system, it actually goes to the delivery department who is responsible for delivering the sim to the end customer who requested in the first place. So there are a lot of processes that are involved, and there are a lot of humans that are involved in this process. But with this RPA and AI, what you can do is that you can create intelligent bots to automate this complete process end to end with no human involvement. Okay, the human involvement will only be during the delivery of the sim to the end customer, moving of the data from the CRM to the billing system, from the billing to the delivery system, verification of the data against the country's centralized database. So this all things can be automated. Okay, so just imagine how it will empower your organizations, how it will augment your digital transformation strategy. Now coming to the use cases, I would like to discuss two use cases in the banking sector. Okay, one is like how quickly you can process a loan application in less than 30 minutes. We all know that visiting banks for the loan is not an easy task. I mean, it's actually a quite time consuming task, to visit a bank for the loan application to get it approved. It is a quite like 2 week 3 weeks task. I mean, you need to go into the bank, you need to submit your account statement. Once you submit your account statement and give you the national ID, and a background check is uh, executed against your profile. I mean, okay, across the country's central database, bank's database. Then it was also checked whether you have any outstanding loan with other banks or not. So what is usually happening is that a lot of manual stuff is involved. But with RPA, with the intelligent automation, what can be done is that once you have the customer data, okay, like if you have his national ID, what you can do is that once that a customer sends in raises a request on the banking, like on the banking portal or from his account, saying that he is in need of a loan. So once he does that, instead of human handling all this request, what you can do is that you can create a bot that intelligently extracts the customer data and inputs into the loan originating system or the LOS system. Okay, after this, what you can do is that you can actually train the bot to search multiple public and government domains against that particular ID, against the particular keyword, and it will pull out the required data to perform the required calculations, the risk calculation, the loan to value calculations. Okay, once it is done, the bot is also capable of performing the credit assessment, the scoring, and the decision making. In terms of the decision making that the bot needs to be trained, is that there are set of rules that needs to be defined. Okay, there are set of rules that needs to be defined. So if the bot uh, makes a decision based on the data that it has got from the multiple domains in the public and the government sector, and based on the loan to value calculation, based on the credit scoring and the assessment, what it will do is that bot will complete, or a bot basically bot it will complete all the underwriting processing for the loan and the loan originating documents. Okay, so you see, there is no human involvement in this. The only human involvement that you have is the end customer, and he is raising a request against he's raising a request to the bank for the loan. So there is no human involvement from bank side. Everything has been automated. The I mean his request, the moment he requests his loan, facility from the bank, everything is automated. From extracting of the data to multiple domains to verifying his score to granting him the loan. So this is how it will help banks or the financial industries to surpass their expectations and help them in their digital transformation journey. It can also streamline the customer service delivery. This is one example of very exposure assessment. And previously, like in 2 to 3 slides back, I was also discussing about the customer service delivery, wherein with regards to the use case in the telecom sector, right? Okay, wherein a person is actually raising a request for getting a SIM on different channels using his laptop or using his phone. Okay, fine. So that is also an example of customer service delivery, and this example also that we see is a typical example of the risk exposure assessment that we see in here is also a typical example of the customer service delivery. See, so if you look at the steps that you see in here, so the bot is basically receiving an email from the customer, and he logs into collect account and transaction history. Okay, so once he logs into the system, his account, he actually sees there is a request from the customer to balance transfer between accounts. So once there is a request, once the bot identifies that there is a request to transfer the balance between the accounts, the bot is actually capable of evaluating is the amount that has been requested to for the transfer from the current amount to the next account. Is there enough balance available or not? If the enough balance is available, the bot will process this transfer and provide a confirmation email to the customer. So if you see like what can intelligent automation do, okay, it can read all the incoming emails from your end customers. Suppose you are working in a CRM department and you have loads of volume of complaints that are coming in. So what this bot can do is that this intelligent bot, intelligent automation, it can read all these emails. It can understand the tone of the emails. Like, is the customer angry? Is the customer in a hurry? Is the customer satisfied? Okay. It can actually understand the tone of the customer and actually forward to the concerned department. It also has the capability to respond, what do you call, to respond to the emails. Okay, it has the capability of extracting the unstructured data from your email and entering into the CRM system or a loan system, LOS system like Pin1 and all that stuff. You can also process the digital signatures. So these are some of the features that you have with intelligent automation. Like, no matter what processes you have within your organization, okay, we know that like because of the COVID-19 that's been prevalent, a lot of people like a lot of processes are being automated. Okay, a lot of manual task, repetitive task that's been there out across the organization is being automated. So I believe this is the right time to invest in this technology, in the technology of robotic process automation and intelligent automation. Okay, this is the right time. I mean, because the COVID-19 situation, it has given rise to multiple use cases, and it has pushed many organizations to go towards to take the path of digital transformation. And in terms of value that it can deliver, according to McKinsey, according to research that's been done by McKinsey, in the year 2019, from 2018 to 2019, like for 50 to 70% of the tasks that were automated across the organization, okay, they had reduction in the processing. Like all this 50 to 70% of the tasks that were automated, there was a reduction in the processing time between 50 to 60. You see this? This imagine how this will impact the task processing time has been reduced to almost half of what it used to take place. For example, if a process was taking 40 hours, okay, in the current scenario, it is taking 20 hours to complete. So this is how it has improved. And the annual run rate efficiency has been increased significantly by 20 to 25 to 30%. So this is the kind of value that AI, intelligent automation, can bring into your organization. I mean, so that's pretty much it from my side as far intelligent automation is concerned. Okay. Now let's see, like if you have any questions coming in, like if you have any doubts or something, redington.com. Okay, this is my email ID. If you have any issues, please let me know about it. If you need any clarification, please let me know. Okay, then thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone.